Hello, it's nice to see you. It's Pedram, chapter 9, comparisons. 9.1. Making comparisons with as. A. Tina is 21 years old. Sam is also 21. Tina is as old as Sam is. B. Mike came as quickly as he could. As is used to say that the two parts of a comparison are equal or the same in some way. In A, as plus adjective plus as. In B, as plus adverb as. C, Ted is 20, Tina is 21. Ted is not as old as Tina. D, Ted is not quite as old as Tina. E, Amy is 5. She is not nearly as old as Tina. Negative form. Not as. Quiet and nearly are often used with the negative. In D, not quite as equals a small difference. In E, not nearly as a big difference. F, Sam is just as old as Tina. G, Ted is nearly almost as old as Tina. Common modifiers of as are just meaning exactly and nearly almost. Tina 21, Sam 21, Ted 20, Amy 5. Also possible not so as. Ted is not so old as Tina. Nine 2. Comparative and superlative. A is older than B. B. A and B are older than C and D. C. Ed is more generous than his brother. The comparative compares these to that or these to those from or more. See chart 9.3. Notice, a comparative is followed by than. D. A, B, C, and D are sisters. A is the oldest of all 4 sisters. E. A woman in Turkey claims to be the oldest person in the world. F. Ed is the most generous person in his family. The superlative compares one part of a whole group to all the rest of the group. Form. Est or most. See chart 9, 3, 4 forms. Notice a superlative begins with the. 9.3. Comparative and superlative forms of adjectives. One syllable adjectives. Comparative, superlative. Old, older, the oldest. Wise, wiser, the wisest. For most one syllable adjectives, and est are added. Two syllable adjectives. Famous, more famous, the most famous. Pleasant, more pleasant, the most pleasant. For most two syllable adjectives, more and most are used. Clever, cleverer, the cleverest. More clever, the most clever. Gentle, gentler, the gentlest. More gentle, the most gentle. Friendly, friendlier, the friendliest. More friendly, the most friendly. Some two-syllable adjectives use either est or more, most, able, angry, clever, common, cruel, friendly, gentle, handsome, narrow, pleasant, polite, quiet, simple, sore. Busy, busier, the busiest. Pretty, prettier, the prettiest. And est are used with two-syllable adjectives that end in y. The y is changed to y. Adjectives with 3 or more syllables. Important, more important, the most important. Fascinating, more fascinating, the most fascinating. More and most are used with long adjectives. Irregular adjectives. Good, better, the best. Bad, worse, the worst. Good and bad have irregular, comparative and superlative forms. Ly, adverbs. Carefully, more carefully, the most carefully. Slowly, more slowly, the most slowly. More and most are used with adverbs that end in ly. One syllable adverbs. Fast, faster, the fastest. Hard, harder, the hardest. The er and est forms are used with one syllable adverbs. Irregular adverbs. Well, better, the best. Badly, worse, the worst. Far, farther, further, the farthest, the furthest. Both farther and further are used to compare physical distances. I walked farther than my friend did, or I walked further than my friend did. Further also means additional. I need further information. Note, farther cannot be used when the meaning is additional. Exception. Early is both an adjective and an adverb, and an adverb forms. Earlier, earliest. 9.4. Completing a comparative. A. I'm older than my brother is. B. I'm older than he is. C. I'm older than him in informal. In formal English, a subject pronoun, e.g. example, he follows then, as in B. In everyday, informal spoken English, an object pronoun, for example, e.g. him, often follows then, as in C. D. He works harder than I do. E. I arrived earlier than they did. Frequently, an auxiliary verb follows the subject after then. In D. Than I do, then I work. F. Anne's hair is longer than Kate's. G. Jack's apartment is smaller than mine. A possessive noun, for example, e.g. Kate's, or pronoun, for example, e.g. mine, may follow then. 9.5. Modifying comparatives. A. Tom is very old. B. Anne drives very carefully. Very often modifies adjectives as in A, and adverbs as in B. C. Incorrect. Tom is very older than I am. Incorrect. Anne drives very more carefully than she used to. Very is not used to modify comparative adjectives and adverbs. D. Tom is much, a lot, far older than I am. E. Anne drives much, a lot, far more carefully than she used to. Instead, much, a lot, or far are used to modify comparative adjectives and adverbs, as in D and E. F. Ben is a little bit older than I am, or informally me. Another common modifier is a little bit, as in F. 9.6. Comparisons with less than and not as. More than one syllable. A. A pen is less expensive than a book. B. A pen is not as expensive as a book. The opposite of more is expressed by less or not as. Examples A and B have the same meaning. Less and not as are used with adjectives and adverbs of more than one syllable. One syllable. C. A pen is not as large as a book. Incorrect. A pen is less large than a book. Only not as, not less, is used with one syllable. Adjectives or adverbs as in C. 9.7. Using more with nouns. A. Would you like some more coffee? B. Not everyone is here. I expect more people to come later. In A, coffee is a noun. When more is used with nouns, it often has the meaning of additional. It is not necessary to use then. C. There are more people in China than there are in the United States. More is also used with nouns to make complete comparisons by adding then. D. Do you have enough coffee, or would you like some more? When the meaning is clear, the noun may be omitted and more can be used by itself. 9.8. Repeating a comparative. A. Because he was afraid, he walked faster and faster. B. Life in the modern world is getting more and more complicated. Repeating a comparative gives the idea that something becomes progressively greater, i.e., that is, it increases in intensity, quality, or quantity. 9.9. Using double comparatives. A. The harder you study, the more you will learn. B. The more she studied, the more she learned. C. The warmer the weather is, the better I like it. A double comparative has two parts. Both parts begin with the as in the examples. The second part of the comparison is the result of the first part. In A, if you study harder, the result will be that you will learn more. D. Should we ask Jenny and Jim to the party too? Why not? The more, the merrier. E. When should we leave? The sooner the better. The more, the merrier, and the sooner, the better are two common expressions. In D, it is good to have more people at the party. In E, it is good if we leave as soon as we can. Nine 11. Using the same, similar, different, like, alike. A. John and Mary have the same books. B. John and Mary have similar books. C. John and Mary have different books. D. Their books are the same. E. Their books are similar. F. Their books are different. The same, similar, and different are used as adjectives. Notice the always precedes same. G. This book is the same as the one. H. This book is similar to that one. I. This book is different from that one. Notice the same is followed by as. Similar is followed by to. Different is followed by from. J. She is the same age as my mother. My shoes are the same size as yours. A noun may come between the same and as in J. K. My pen is like your pen. L. My pen and your pen are alike. Notice in K and L, noun plus be like plus noun. Noun and noun plus be alike. M. She looks like her sister. It looks like rain. It sounds like thunder. This material feels like silk. That smells like gas. This chemical tastes like salt. Stop acting like a fool. He seems like a nice guy. In addition to following be, like also follows certain verbs, primarily those dealing with the senses. Notice the examples in M. N. The twins look alike. We think alike. Most 4-year-olds act alike. My sister and I talk alike. The little boys are dressed alike. Alike may follow a few verbs other than be. Notice the examples in N. In informal speech, native speakers might use then instead of from after different. From is considered correct in formal English, unless the comparison is completed by a clause. I have a different attitude now than I used to have. Thank you so much.